Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. No, it's not morning. It's afternoon, evening. I don't know. It's whatever it is where you're watching from. Um, and we've got a reroll that has already come in from Jeff. Thank you so much for the player reroll. Appreciate that. Keep those rolling throughout the game here. They could definitely use some rerolls as we pick up the story of the Curse of Ermagerd. It is a adventure module based on characters that one of our own, David Williams, created in his young adult novel, The Lost Tale of Sir Larpsalot. So we have with us today 5 players who are coming into the world of Mezzo-Earth to assume the roles of these characters. And do a little flip-flop on my overlay here real quick. We've got a new character that is joining us. Percy will be coming in to play the other member of the good company that we haven't seen. So I think as we're starting things out here, Percy, would you give us a little rundown, a little description of the guy that you're bringing in?
Hi, I'm Percy. I'm going to be playing Lord Grimdark, and Lord Grimdark's he's a bit of a jerk. He's kind of an asshole. Um, he thinks that he can do things better than um, Larpsalot's leadership has um, gotten the good company so far, and I don't know. He likes to mess around.
All right, so some messing around is in order here in a little bit. Unfortunately, we're down one of our players from last week, so we won't have Brutus with us. But I think we'll explain that away as saying, Brutus was having some issues with the delegate from the Disorient. So I think after the negotiations at the peace talks kind of went afoul, that Brutus maybe an attempt to chase down No Way for being so rude, didn't say goodbye, nothing, is gonna go in pursuit of No Way. Um, but
Brutus is always so hot-tempered.
yes, didn't wait to see if that was what the group wanted him to do. I think that's a fair enough way to see Brutus out. But maybe like pretty much at the same moment that Brutus exits, Lord Grimdark finally makes it. And so we'll skip past a lot of the you'll get reacquainted. You're going to catch Lord Grimdark up on what the situation is at the start of the session. Basically, we have this territory that is called the Funk that is an accursed land that up until recently, until your group went in there and retrieved the staff of Ermagerd, the curse on the land has started to begun to rescind, and in its wake there is plentiful land that is resource abundant and has been unspoiled by civilization and whatnot. And there are a lot of competing interests on what should be done with this land. The dwarves to the south are very eager to bring industry and development to this area and start mining it and plying it of its riches. The Disorient, the very shadowy, secretive sect of humans to the west, are pretty tight-lipped about what their interests are, but they seem like they want a chunk of the land themselves and maybe are hoping to use it. It seems like they're kind of implying that they maybe want to use it as sort of a buffer territory to keep these other civilizations out of their lands. They're not a very welcoming folk. And then you've also learned that the elves of the untamed north, these wild woodland elvish creatures, their interest in it is that they don't want anybody to be taking up this land. They have a prophecy that suggests that it is bad news to be playing around in this territory, that a great calamity could come across the world if this place is occupied and settled. So we had sort of an intractable kind of thing. The characters here tried to step in and try to find a middle ground, and they were probably making some progress, I would say. They were doing a good job, kind of seeing like, okay, it seems like some of the groups maybe would be willing to split this up, sort of egalitarian in a equal fashion, perhaps. But then there was an ambush that took place, and some bandits crashed the party and uh, looked like they were ready to spoil the negotiations for whatever reason. You guys managed to capture one of them, and using a bit of magic, were able to ascertain that they were actually hired by the dwarf, uh, Gildbert. And so it looked like the dwarves were negotiating in bad faith and were really looking to have this happen in order to save face and say, oh, the negotiations failed, and they could say that they did their part. At this point, No Way has gone off screen with Brutus on their tail. Gildbert, um, pretty quick to escape from the situation, not wanting to linger around too long before being questioned himself. And so you've been left with the elf delegate. Her name is uh, River Eagle, and her basically agenda is to get back to her people and let them know that this is taking place and alert them to the dwarves are probably ready to move their military in, and the disorient are likely up to no good themselves. And so you all decided that you were going to accompany her and try to keep her safe. It seems very likely that the other two factions are not playing nice, and they likely would try to ambush her on the road. And so you're going to provide a bit of security. Um, there was something that you all were kind of doing a little bit before we came on screen, and there was this puzzle box that you were given. You had earned that sort of by way of helping this little village of Farway. They had kind of summoned you, and the sheriff had given you this, had given, I think it was Prospero, this box as sort of a thank you. So you do have that and have maybe been puzzling over it a bit. I'm just going to put this up on the screen so the audience can see that. Um, I believe what they have identified is this little wooden puzzle box. When they tap on these symbols, each side has a different rune. They do light up. Um, and I believe that you have ascertained that they basically are letters, right? Um, and then there's one side. We'll say it's the letter that looks like it probably is an E. That one is covered in this like sap that is often collected and almost like a tar kind of thing that torches and whatnot might be dipped in. It's sort of a fuel, very flammable but slow burning fuel source. So that's kind of where we are picking up. You're traveling on the road. I think I said it was sort of like autumn seasonally as you're traveling on the road. And River Eagle, she's in her very naturalistic kind of uh, garb. It's almost like camouflage. She's got her painted face. She's sort of brooding a bit as she is walking, easily 10 feet in front of you as you're marching down this road through the wilderness. Um, just, I guess, a description of what she looks like. Once again, she's a long-legged elf in simple leathers. She has face paint, almost like war paint, upon her face. Um, she's holding her longbow out, and she seems very on edge. She's very nervous. She's very ready for something terrible to happen. She's got her eyes off to the sides of the road, waiting for an ambush to happen. She's been relatively quiet. We'll say it's been a few hours since you have left Farway. So I guess before anything else happens, I'll ask the group here, is there anything specifically any of you are doing any solving of the box or any conversation that you're having.
I would, Larpsalot would say, like, would acknowledge Grimdark and be like, good of you to show up.
I think you're muted. Muted? Oh no.
Oh no, he's.
Can he not hear us?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh.
that's better. Yeah. They told me that you were doing a very good job there, Larpsalot. It sounds like there might be a war. I'm down for that. Like, honestly, I think that's the way that this should go. We could do some fighting, kill some things. It'll be fun. Yeah? What do you think?
Well, that's not what our purpose was, but
Well, that
yeah,
seems to be where you brought it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
we tried to use diplomacy and then were ambushed, but we did get some information out of them.
Worked super well. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, well, they weren't very interested in compromising, so this is what we're left with.
I guess. So what's the plan now? We're just gonna pick a side. We're going with the elves. We think they're gonna win.
I don't know who's going to win. I don't think there's going to be a war. I hope there's not going to be a war. But the dwarves attacked us, then ran away. Brutus took off after them. Who knows when we're going to see him again? And yeah. Oh no, sorry. Brutus took off after the human who was so weird and wouldn't even look at anybody in the face. And then the dwarves were the one that attacked us and ran off. So here we are. And I'll tell you, River Eagle, she was able to hold her own in the battle and was able to talk to us. But they don't want anybody going into the funk. They think the whole world's going to blow up or something like that if anybody goes in there.
Like, we can't just go in there and see what's there, or is it like
Well,
they don't want?
technically, we've already been there.
Yeah, so they don't want the other races to go in there.
They don't want to
So
go in
are
there.
they hiding
either.
something? Is that what's going on?
Maybe they are. They say they
River-
don't go in there either.
River Eagle would, at some point in all this conversation, say that your friend Brutus, he's got the right idea. I don't like the dwarves, but they're motivated by greed. We know what their motivations are. It's the disorient that I struggle with. We don't know what their motivations are, and their history is tied up in all of this. They're the ones that are likely hiding something, some secret deep within the funk.
Well, how do you expect us to figure that out if you don't want anybody to go in there?
I don't know. I'm taking you to my village. I'm not the leader. I just need to report back.
Who will we be meeting with when we go there? Who is your leader?
We will meet with our captain, Goldheart. She will know what to do. She is much better versed in the prophecy than I.
Seems to me a prophecy is just something some old guy said that, they didn't know what was going to happen. They were just taking a guess.
Maybe
You
if
wanna
we
find
went
out?
in there to investigate without spoiling the area, it would be acceptable.
Well,
Because we would only be there temporarily. We wouldn't be digging a mine or any such thing as that to affect the area.
Well, that's not my decision to make.
and listen, elf lady, like, honestly, there's going to be a war. So unless you guys plan on winning that war, I think somebody's going to be going in there.
Like I said, it's not my decision to make.
Well, if we get her back home safely, then we can have a conversation with the captain there and decide what to do. You know, I think we probably do need to go into the funk. I just don't want us to be the reason that she doesn't get home safely.
Mechanic question. We are still level 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
And any attempt on the puzzle box as you're walking?
I mean, I'm looking at it, and I think we should just light it. Like, I feel like that's kind of the best way. I mean, there's something in there, and we need to know what's in there, right? And obviously, we're not figuring it out. And we've had it for how long? At least half an hour. Come on, we need to get this thing open. Let's light it up. Obviously, stand back, and whatever happens, happens. I'm sure we'll get what's inside.
But before you do that, consider this. There have been puzzle boxes that have been made that, when forced, actually destroy the contents.
I don't.
We're not talking about taking my sword and chopping it in half. Just lighting it on fire. What could go wrong?
Because that's so much better.
It is. It's quick. It's quick, and I don't have to sit here and wonder what's inside. You see, there's something in there that's meant for us, and I need to know what's in there.
And what if, in your haste, you lose that which you desire?
So who has
we
the
don't
box?
have it now.
Who has the box?
It is right here in my hand.
Okay.
Can I look at that for a second?
So long as you are not within 15 feet of a fire source, yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking in my backpack. Like, where the heck did I put that? Like,
I'm going to take it from you, and I'm going to look at the sticky side, and I want to
Thank
put
you.
it. I'm going to take it and put it on the end of Prospero's, on the top of the staff, and see if it sticks up there. And then you can show it if you want to. You can show it to Isaac / tomfoolery from the end of the stick.
It makes it a little sticky. There's like a little bit of a suctiony kind of sound, but it doesn't quite hold it, and it would drop or fall.
Well, I guess it's not going to make a good decoration then.
Okay, I'm not gonna light it.
light a torch.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to burn the thing, but
Yeah.
can I get the torch close to it? Is that okay, Prosper?
As long as you stay at least 3 feet away.
Okay. I will move to within 3 feet of him. I will extend the torch so that it's touching the cube.
Are you lighting it on
That's
fire?
not 3 feet.
What? The torch? My arm is 3 feet long.
So, in the interest of time, are you applying heat to this box or no?
Yes. Unless he's going to stop me.
Yeah, it'll be a question for Prospero. Is possession is however many tenths of the law. You got it. So, are you going to allow heat to be applied to the box or not?
That depends.
I'll just hold it underneath.
Do it.
Oh, I don't. Does anyone have water? Because I do not in my inventory.
No, I have no water.
The joys of pre-generated characters.
If you're looking to have water, you could find a source of water.
I have a water skin, but
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll have a water skin. I'm assuming there's water in it.
Yeah.
Okay. as long as there's a bucket brigade, then yes, we can attempt to set the sticky side on fire.
All right, you hold on to it, and I'll light it on fire.
All right.
I'm going to set it on a rock on the ground, and so I'm not holding something that's on fire.
All right. So you're going to end up applying heat to this side of the box, and you will get the secret message. And the secret message is revealed in bright white letters within the sap as it kind of starts to cool. The answer is the recipient and the reward.
The recipient is the answer and the reward.
Yes.
So you're the reward?
The answer is the
Prosperity.
recipient and the reward. So now that you guys lit it on fire, does it make any more sense to you?
Well, of course.
So what is the question?
This must be about me, since I was the recipient, and I am a treat to all who accompany me. So the answer must be prosperity.
Yeah, but if that's the answer, but we don't, what is the question?
Maybe it's like, you remember, like Jeopardy. Maybe we have to ask it in the form of a question.
Oh, who is Master Prosper?
Nope. Didn't work.
Well, that's too bad. That's clearly because they have not heard of me yet in the Disorient. Time will come.
Now just remember, you have learned that these runes do activate when you touch them. They light up and glow for a few seconds after you make contact with them.
Well, I don't know the answer, but the question could
Light.
be the why.
Is it light? Is it? Can we?
I don't think we can make an.
Wait, is this like just a little torch?
Maybe you can sit on this. You're not very close, so you can continue to think about it. And if someone wants to make a try, or maybe the audience will help you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
With that at some point. So
Too many vowels. We need a consonant.
Many vowels.
Which is why I think perhaps the one for I may in fact be a T.
So
Upside down T?
No, you just it's fancy like it's got a base, so it doesn't fall over. It's a T done by an engineer.
Well, if you change it to a T, then you get the correct letters to spell out something like you eat or you ate. Anybody want to try to bite it?
So you are puzzled as you continue to walk for probably another couple of hours or so yet. And so after some time traveling this northbound road, heading in the direction where you are to understand the untamed north to be, you see that River Eagle stops. It's as though she's finally ready to take a break. She's been hustling. She's definitely been the one that's kind of been egging you on to keep up, just a little bit further. And she stops for a moment and she cups her hands together, and almost like mimics like a bird song. Something very naturalistic. And just a few seconds after she does that, the sound echoes back from up ahead, and she says, "Come, our destination is near." And just a few minutes later, you're greeted by an unremarkable, though unexpected sight. A modest community nestled at the edge of coniferous trees. No elven settlements in the forbidden frontier have ever been mapped, and yet here lies a hamlet out in the open. River Eagle explains, "This is Rome. This is the outpost where my people are from. It's an itinerant community. We travel along the border. It is here that we have been patrolling this area. Boldheart, as I told you, my captain, she will be able to teach you more. She will be able to help us understand what our next move is." And as
She
you,
be able to figure out the box?
uh, maybe.
Okay.
As you draw nearer, you can see that knots rather than nails support the modest wooden structures. There's even a stout watchtower, while sturdy, sporting a number of interlocking grooves and a hinged ladder. The elf sentry at the top looks down at you, his war-painted face expressionless, and his short bow at the ready. River Eagle looks at you all and says, "Forgive the lack of hospitality, but I must go and seek out Boldheart privately. I want to talk with her. You can take a rest. It's been a long travel along the road." And she kind of takes off and she bolts to this tent right over here, where there are definitely like guard sentries that kind of guard the tent flap, and she rushes in to that area. So at this time, you'd be able to like kind of maneuver around and explore the camp if you'd like, but this is also a good place for you to be able to take a short rest, and this is where you'd formally jump to level 2.
Sweet.
Okay.
Looking around the space here as you're coming into this camp, you're getting the sense of what some of these different areas are. This big tent over here, clearly there's a couple of troughs there and horses that are drinking from them, and big piles of hay nearby. That's an area for stabling the camp's horses. It looks like there's maybe 15 stalls or so inside. These other two buildings here, R5 and R3, look like they are a barracks to the south, and then this other building up here looks like some kind of an armory or a place where they have keep supplies and things like that. And then this tent over here is something of a mess hall.
And do we see anybody in the area other than the sentry person?
Yeah, they're like some of the scouts and such are kind of meandering about, or coming and going throughout the camp.
Given how modular everything looks, I do believe Rome was indeed built in a day.
Clever as ever.
So, was there maybe like some type of reward or something maybe that you might want to give us for getting you here safely? Or maybe not them, but me at least?
Just
There, River Eagle.
River Eagle has left you. She went to the captain's tent.
Okay, well, I'm going to go follow her then.
Okay.
That's not suspect at all.
Yeah, I think that we should follow her as well, because I don't know why she's going to talk by herself.
Okay, so you're doing this instead of taking a short rest?
Well, I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should take a short rest.
I would. It has been a long journey, and my feet are very tired. And these boots are not the Merrill hiking boots that I'm used to.
Yeah, I guess so. They're not going to be shifting out a whole bunch of coin while we're here. I'll just keep an eye and make sure nothing moves. I'll take a short rest.
Okay. It's sort of just would flavor this piece a little bit differently depending on what you did. But after your short rest, after an hour, she will emerge from the tent then and come to find you. And so it's probably getting to be a dark out at this point. It's probably like, it's evening. It's early evening. Sun is settling. And River Eagle emerges from the captain's tent and approaches you. Her expression is grim, and she apologizes for interrupting your rest, but she says that the captain has received news that is urgent and is requesting that you come to meet with her.
Excellent. Let's go. So, Captain, they had got some coin maybe to go.
Excuse me. Thank you for allowing us audience with you. We were happy to escort your representative home.
Yeah, so you.
We were told that there'd be money involved, so.
Hold on, just so I understand. You are wishing to go now to the captain, or are you talking to River Eagle?
I would like to go talk to the captain.
Okay, so you'll go into the tent and everything, and you will see Gold Heart. She is an elf with a very healthy mane of red hair. She is probably a bit more muscular. She's got more of like a warrior's kind of build than the scout that you've been traveling with these past throughout the day. She's got this huge, very ornate, very finely crafted like spear that she has kind of strapped to her back. Her entire tent is kind of lavished with different pelts and hides and things like that. And you come into her presence, and she kind of gives a nod of respect towards you, Larpsalot, and she says, "You come here at a very important juncture, a very important time in history, and you are most welcome here amongst the elves."
Say like I do a little bow and say like, thank you for the granting us the audience. I suppose you've been updated in everything that happened back at Farway.
Yes, I am to understand that the negotiations did not go well, that the other sides of this conflict of ours are still driven toward their own ends in wanting to resettle and move into this area, this forbidden area.
Yeah, that's the part we're not getting. The forbidden part. So we've been talking about maybe that the humans to the east are hiding something, and I think that we're wondering if that might be hidden in the funk.
That seems likely. We have got reports that the Disorient have moved into the funk.
They've moved into it?
Yes. A patrol had been scouted and seen entering into the Purple Veil. One of them matches the description that River Eagle has given me about this diplomat. No way. And all of this seems to make sense to me. They are the ones that I am most distrustful of. The dwarves are acting as we would expect the dwarves to act, but the humans, their intentions likely go back to the very origins of the funk. It seems likely that they were responsible for the entire phenomenon in the first place.
And he told me, yes, hi, I am Tom Foolery, just so you know. one of the heroes that helped your escort your fine friend and soldier, whatever, Eagle here. And one of them told me that, and I'm giving you this information, because I really care, that they wanted to just eliminate you, period.
The Disorient said that?
Yeah.
Did they say why?
It was no. I asked.
They wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't.
No.
But they probably didn't mean it. They say things like this all the time just to throw you off.
Really? Oh. Okay.
Did they say anything about wanting what is at the center of the funk?
No.
See?
They did
That
seem
proves it.
awfully eager
It did
to
seem like
cut
he
a
was.
deal
No.
with the dwarves and cut you out entirely, so that they could take 50% instead of a third.
I don't think that they're interested in treaties and negotiations. They just want to be back in the shadows to find whatever it is that they left there so long ago. We've had to deal with this before, many centuries ago. And she's like looking at the staff that Prospero carries this entire time as she's talking, and she says, the Disorient have gone into that unholy land before. Even before the phenomenon of the funk was something that existed. They
If
have
if they are trying to find something in there, then they must want to acquire a certain portion where they think it is. Have they ever expressed what portion of the funk that they wish to acquire?
I think whatever it is at the center. It goes back to this history that I'm telling you about.
Oh, okay. All right.
So then, here's something that I do not know, and your
Maybe
ancient memories will be much better.
can I share with you
I'm
the
telling-
history? Please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, I'll just sum it up. So I'm going to stop RPing because it's creating questions. So she's going to tell you that a long time ago the Disorient went into the funk, and they clearly were looking for some kind of magic that they believed was there. The prophecy had already existed, and the elves protected this area. The elves, their response to this was to send in a young magus of their own. A young magus named Ermagerd, who was born of the Disorient and of elf. She was a half elf.
She was a half elf.
And so she had the clout to be able to infiltrate the Disorient and kind of camouflage her amongst their ranks, but make them believe that she was among them. And she was successful. She was successful in learning some of their secrets that they did. They were trying to rip open a portal to a dark realm. And the only way that she could think to seal it, by the time she learned about it, it was much too late to stop it. The only thing that she could do was to try to seal it away. And she did so with the staff that you now are in possession of. And so that is the key. That is the key to sealing that portal. And you taking it away has likely given the Disorient an opportunity to go back and start what they began so many years ago.
So
It figures. I never get to keep anything cool.
So it was like a big stopper, and you.
Yeah.
So where is this dark portal? Does anybody know where the portal leads to?
She
I would
say,
suspect wherever the funk is draining.
Because if it's a dark portal, I don't know why anybody would want to go through there.
What if it leads to where we belong?
She just shakes her head. She says,
Usually-
"No, that's not
Well, how
it."
do we get back?
Usually, portals of this type are not about where you go to. It's about the things you bring back.
Oh, cool. Something to fight. I like that idea.
Well, she would
But
say,
if we retrieved the staff to cure the funk, then we must have already been very close to where this portal is, if it indeed functions as a lock and key.
So what if we went and put the staff back and sealed the portal again?
she says that that's probably what is going to be necessary, and that you're going to have to do it before the disorient get to the center or get to wherever whatever they're looking for, which is likely at the epicenter of this phenomenon.
So really, your whole prophecy was just to keep people away from taking the staff. There's no other motive to it then.
Well, she would tell you the prophecy predates Ermagerd going into that land. Like, their prophecy was for no one to ever go into that area, and the disorient did, and opened up that rift.
Don't worry, Max. You'll still have the box.
Oh joy.
Yeah, it's
A box
something.
where the answer to the riddle is
Well,
the recipient
you're the
of
smart
word.
one. Figure it out.
What do you think I have been trying to do since we received it? I have been pondering this box more than I have ever pondered an orb. And there's something wrong about that.
Back
to the portal.
She will say, "Box?" And you show it to her, and she says, "Oh, the answer is the recipient and the reward." What have we got here? We've got a bunch of vowels, it looks like. What could you spell with a bunch of vowels?
Nothing in English.
Answer. Your name is what? Prospero. I don't see a P.
But if you change the I to a T, you could spell you eat.
Oh. You think it's a T?
Oh,
I don't think
we
it's
just
a
need
T.
to eat. No, I think it's an I.
I think the
vowels,
sometimes Y has something to do with it.
you can't spell any word without a vowel.
I don't know. Are you familiar with Polish?
I think that's on the other continent.
Oh, it's a long way from here.
So if we were to travel to the center of the funk, is there a guide, or is there a best approach to this? Or should we just wander blindly in like we're probably gonna do?
River Eagle will go with you.
Good. River Eagle.
Her eyes
You
are
tell
like
your-
wide.
That's great. Can you tell your chief here how brave we've been so far, especially me?
They have been especially competent, Captain.
That's right. I am competent. And
This box business notwithstanding.
oh yeah. You know, back home I have a mother that I left to go adventuring. She only has one arm and one leg.
I
What?
don't think that's true. I don't think I've ever heard that from you before.
Deception
I
check.
know why I'm whatever. Here we go. Let's see. How good. Deception should be good. Yeah, it is. Oh, 19.
She's like, "Oh my God! How did she lose her arm and her leg?"
The dog got. We don't.
Your
It
dog?
was. It was starving. We're so.
Oh no! You've suffered
We're
greatly,
so- yes.
and yet here you are, so selflessly here to take on our
Well,
quest.
I ask only if you have some coin to help my mother when I return.
Of course, you shall have all of it.
Yes.
River Eagle,
Yes.
the big treasure chest, the
Yes.
big one. And as River Eagle goes, she does a salute. You hear war horns. She's, oh, wait, what is this?
No. No. Get the chest. Please.
To battle! We must fight!
Oh.
She takes out her spear, and River Eagle, forgets about the chest, and she zips out the tent, and both of them are gone. And you're left in
Time
the
to
tent
earn
all
that
alone.
chest, I guess.
Or we can just look for it.
You're
I'm
so-
sure they can handle whatever's coming. They've got a whole army out there.
You seem pretty cool now, there. I mean, you're cool already, but you seem pretty cool now, person. You said you're looking for a fight, and the more of you in front of me, the safer I am. I think you would definitely go out and fight.
Um, um, okay. Thought we
If
were
you
gonna get
if you
paid
ever
for this.
if you ever get that gold, I have a bottomless bag that could be carried. It could be carried in, if it's real heavy.
Really, Cliff?
A bottomless bag.
Yeah, yeah.
So stuff
Like a-
just falls out the bottom.
No. Like a bag of holding.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
Can carry up to 400 pounds.
As you're debating the weight capacities of containers that you own, you hear the ringing of metal upon metal and screaming of warfare outside.
Party,
I
they
think we
need
better
your
go
help.
outside and see what's going on.
So, you move outside, and it is like dark out now. The camp is well lit. There's torchlight that kind of rings the camp and everything, but you could just see silhouettes, like in the light and the smoke all kind of congealed together. There's just sort of this fog of war all around. Like you're a little bit confused, but you can definitely see that it seems like many of the elves are embroiled in. Some of them are trying to take shots kind of blindly out into this smoky air. Others are in hand-to-hand combat with dwarves that are armed with short swords and battle axes and whatnot. And just as you're all arming up to maybe enter the fray and lend some aid, you hear this like chugging sound. And like you just hear it's like wheels moving. And you turn to look to the east to see where the origins of the sound are happening. And you see this terrifying construct wheeling itself forward into your view.
What the heck?
This machine,
This
it
is
is all
borderline copyright infringement.
metal with some kind of a strange arm that is waving around, and it is just like emitting like fire from little spouts and smokestacks, and you can see that the nature of the smog all around is likely being generated from this thing. And on its back, you see Gilbert kind of riding. He's got like wrenches and stuff, and he's like kind of tuning this thing up, and he just looks down. He's like, "Well, I say, it looks like it's my old friends back from far away. Well, I'm gonna have to say that negotiations are just about over." And you can see
Oh,
there's some
bother.
other dwarves that have axes and whatnot that are entering into fray. We're going to do this one theater of the mind. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it. But go ahead and start rolling some initiative, and we'll get into our first combat here. All right. Thomas has a 12. Gilbert, not so good.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
No, that's good.
These
Rolling
other
initiative.
dwarves. Yeah, D20 plus your dex modifier. Alright, these guys have a 6. And River Eagle, I should roll her in.
I rolled a 18.
Okay, hold on. She is going to have a 8. Alright, Grimdark, what did you have?
Oh, an 8.
8. Elvish,
18.
18. Prospero,
3.
Larpsalot,
11.
and Tomfoolery.
9.
9. Okay, so the order will go Elvish, Thomas, not Tom. Sorry. Larpsalot, and then River Eagle, Grimdark. Oh, I'm sorry. Tomfoolery, then River Eagle, then Grimdark. The dwarves, Gilbert, and Prospero. So we are going to start things off with Elvish Presley. You've just moved out of the tent. We will say that these things, this big construct, the dwarves, they're all about 20 feet away from you.
All right. I'm gonna fire an arrow at that little train that could.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's 20
20 will hit.
and 6.
6 points of damage. Okay. Anything else?
Is the construct is it coming directly toward us or
Yes.
okay? I'm gonna try and spread out to the side, to
Sure.
to
Move 30 feet away
perhaps
from the cluster of the group. All
yeah,
right.
maybe to try and circle around to get behind him or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, you start to kind of make your way to the edge of the, the fray to see if you can maybe get around over there. Next up, we have Thomas. So the Thomas the tank is going to move directly forward, and he moves right near all of you and gives a toot toot. I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw as a gust of boiling hot steam shoots into your vicinity. So everybody except for Elvish, who's not there.
$18.
Since we leveled up, do our hit points reset on a short rest?
If you spent hit dice to do so, you can
Okay.
recover that or whatever.
I just don't see hit dice reflected on these character sheets, so I wasn't sure if they worked the same.
You're kind of wizardy type, right?
Yeah.
D6.
D6, yeah.
So if you got a 14 or higher, you save, and you'll take 5 points of damage. If you got a 13 or lower, you will take 10 points of fire damage and
Ooh,
become blinded till the
Ooh.
end of your next turn.
that's not good.
We have a reroll, right?
You have one reroll.
Can I use it?
Yep. Reroll used.
13. Perfect.
River Eagle is not successful, so she will take 10 points and blinded. All right, so that is that. Next up is Larpsalot.
How many dwarves are here besides the guy on the engine or on the tank?
Threatening your group here, there's the tank, there's Gilbert, and then there's like 2 foot soldiers with them.
And Gilbert's on the top, right? He's driving or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. And I have 20 feet away. I have 30 feet of movement. Could I run up and try to? How tall is it? Could I like try to jump up onto him?
Yeah. You'll just have to. We'll say it's a DC 13 athletics check, so it'd be strength plus proficiency if you're. Oh, it's probably just written straight on
Athletics, I have I have a +5, so I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I rolled an 18 +5, so
No problem. You managed to grab a couple of like little knobs that are like sticking out of it, pieces of metal, and you climb right on top. Gilbert's like,
okay.
"Well, there's only room for one up here."
Yeah, I wanna grab him and just like throw him off onto the ground.
All right. So this will be your action. Make another strength athletics to see if you can like shove him off.
Athletics, okay. Yeah, that was a 14 +5 at 19.
Okay. I think you got it. I just have to look up. He gets a plus nothing. So he gets a 13. You throw him off. I'm gonna have him. He'll take a little bit of fall damage here. You just see him like kind of fall, and he like kind of cracks his back. You can see he's winded. He's like, "Oh!" and he's like sitting right in the dirt.
Like, run away from us.
Gilbert will remember that. All right. Anything else? I think that's everything that you've got. Let's move next to tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery is currently he is currently blinded. But he did hear. I'm saying that we'll remember that. So I'm assuming that he is prone on the ground right now.
He is prone, yes.
So I'm assuming that if I go to attack this guy, it'll cancel it out and just give me a straight roll.
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna go up to him and say, "Hey."
Oh, well, hello.
Time to die.
Now just hold on a lot. I got gold.
Oh, wait, really?
Well, I don't have it on me.
Oh, okay.
We just find a machine. Please.
Yeah. First attack is a. Let me say with slice my dagger. That would be a 13 to hit.
That will unfortunately miss.
All right. Bonus action. Dice is coming out. My other dagger. Ooh. 16 to
That'll
hit.
hit.
All right. I'm going to do 5 points of damage.
Cool. All right.
Is anyone around me that's any of my allies around me? No, right? He's probably
I'm gonna say no on this one.
okay. Sounds good.
We'll go next to River Eagle. River Eagle is blinded. She will attempt to take a shot at disadvantage at the big blue machine. Actually, she might hit. She's gonna hit. And she deals 5 points of damage to Thomas, the tank. And that will bring us to Grimdark. It is your turn.
All right, I can see this guy that just fell on the ground. I'm going to look down at him and I'm going to say, I'm sorry, while you were talking, I was trying to figure out where the hell you got the idea that I cared. And I am going to use Guidance of the God to give myself advantage.
So he's he's prone, so you'd already have advantage if
okay.
that's a resource
Then
that
I
you're
won't.
spending.
I won't use that. Then I will bring my sword down one-handed and try and chop his head off.
Oh please, I need that thing.
That'd be a 20 to hit.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
And I will extend a couple of shady blades, so lots of dice of damage. Because I actually am trying to take his head off. That is 19 and 23 points of damage.
God damn.
You try to take his head off. You make some good progress. He's like you hack into him, but you just kind of like hit the shoulder. He's like, "Ow! Come on, man! If you're gonna do that, make it a clean shot. Ow! It hurts. I'm still alive here."
So it says that I could reroll ones and twos. So instead of a 2, I rolled a 7. So 5 more points.
5 more points. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Grape Ape. Good to see ya. They're fighting Thomas the Tank, the Dwarven construct. Yes.
This bears no resemblance to any other media property for legal reasons.
I'm gonna look at Thomas the Tank and say, I always like Percy better.
I should have gotten the theme, the intro music to go along with the combat.
That's it for me.
Let's see. I'll go next to the dwarves are going to come in, and I think they're gonna like get. They're both gonna team up on Grimdark, who's like annihilating their boss here. So they will get into position. They are both wielding axes. 16 to hit.
That hits.
That'll be 5 points of damage. And the second attack also hits 5 points of damage. And then Gilbert is going to stand up, and he's kind of favoring his wound there, and he is going to. He like reaches over and like there's like a little ripcord like jutting out from underneath his breastplate, and he like pulls that, and like the armor kind of like withdraws, and this gust of wind blows out from his chest. I need you to make Grimdark a Constitution saving throw.
It's a 22.
22. Okay. So it looks like he was trying to push you away, but you managed to stand your ground.
The air just blowing through my hair.
Yeah. You still take a little bit of damage just from the initial like blast. It takes 3 points of force damage, but you're not pushed. Um, and he just, oh, sugar biscuits. I really thought that would work. Then we'll go to Prospero.
This can't be happening. A creature from my childhood has a Gatling gun for an arm and is going to kill me. This is how I die. In a nightmare
What did you
of my
do,
own
Ray?
making. But seriously, though. So, Prospero, as someone who is blinded and nearly dead, is going to try and find cover behind the largest building he can find.
Sounds good.
As his action, he is going to cast Epic Dermis, as his like skin like immediately like goes from pasty white to like deep leather tanned and like taut, with maybe a few little itty bitty scales in there. And then as a bonus action, he's going to clutch his Shadow Bright's boon cloak and just say, "This is all a dream and not happening. This is all a dream and not happening. Ow, I've got third-degree burns. This is a dream and not happening." And fail to turn invisible. Well, cool. That's my turn.
All right. Jump back up to Elvish, top of the order.
So the Thomas the Tank there is operating on his own. He wasn't being controlled by the guy that was riding on him. Huh?
Sorry about that. Say that again.
I say Thomas the Tank is operating on his own. He wasn't being controlled by the guy that got knocked off of him, right?
So, just probably what was happening was Gilbert was probably issuing some commands to it, but at this point, like whatever the last command that he gave it was likely to attack because it's still moving and it's still actively trying to kill you.
Okay. I'm going to do a bonus action and sing out a quick cheer of sorts, which I will direct toward Larpsalot, and you gain a inspiration die for the next 10 minutes. The creature, the person can add a 1d6 plus 1 to any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Thanks.
And I'm going to fire another arrow at him.
Shooting the tank.
Yes. Uh, 18.
That will hit.
Oh, another 6.
Another 6. Okay, awesome. So another arrow pierces through the outer shell of this creature, and some sparks go flying. And somewhere from up above, George Carlin's voice is just narrating all of this, and he says, "It looks like it's tough times for our heroes down in Rome. Thomas was very upset when he got hit by the elf's arrow. Oh, no, Thomas." And you could see his angry eyes just turn and get more angular, and steam is flying up, and he's going to chug full steam ahead. And as he does so, he's going to be shooting that Gatling gun at
You can't kill the king.
Elvish Presley.
Wait, isn't the king dead?
Oh no!
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
So that will be 7 points of piercing damage. And as he's charging ahead, as he's moving ahead, he's going to run right over Tomfoolery. Tomfoolery, I
Oh.
need you to make a strength saving throw.
All right. Question: I have this gem, but I know it gave me advantage to something, or it could give an advantage to something,
It was like a reroll, was it?
or was it a reroll?
Was it? Uh, let's see. Do you remember what it was called?
You said that it was the gem, or it was like the top of the
Yeah, it was the thing that you got.
Armageddon.
Yeah. When you're attuned to this blue gemstone, you can use your reaction to give a creature you can see within 60 feet that has failed an attack roll or saving throw a chance to reroll.
Okay. All right. I'm looking down at my hand while I do this, and hopefully we get this.
Okay,
'Cause,
sounds good.
So I need to do a strength saving throw.
Yes.
Oh boy. Well, that first one is a 6. So I'm assuming that I'm gonna probably be re-rolling. Blue gem, help me. Ooh, 16. Solid 16.
All right. So you're not pushed or knocked prone, but you will take some damage here.
I would have rather just been knocked prone or pushed and not take damage. Darn
It
it.
takes 6 points of damage.
Oh, that's an ouchie.
Could have been bigger, ouchie.
I'm sure.
So he kind of moves, and you manage to kind of like you get kind of knocked aside, but you're just like maybe you're even like kind of clinging to the side of the thing just to like get
Okay.
yourself off of the wheels and such. And that'll bring us to Larpsalot's turn. Larpsalot is on top of Thomas.
Yeah, what am I seeing up here? Are there any kind of controls or a key or an off switch or
There
something?
doesn't seem to be. It seems like Gilbert was maybe just it was all voice commands.
Voice commands. So he was like yelling at it saying, "Go attack the party."
That's your best guess. Because there's no wheel, no knobs, none of the things you were hoping maybe would be up here.
And is there like a fuel area that I can see?
He's got kind of like a furnace, like in his chest, where there's like
Uh-huh.
bars, and you can kind of see like flames, like there's some kind of like elemental energy maybe within the bowels of this thing that's fueling it.
And the Elvish's arrow pierced the armor and did damage it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Does it have eyes? Like I'm looking at it. Like, can it see?
It
Do you
seems
think it's?
to. Yeah. Big kind of smiley face, but angry at the same time.
I want to just like go cover his eyes. No, no, no. I wonder if can I like lean over and try to take out like
Sure.
the eyes with
Yeah.
my sword. So I will
You can
take out Excalibur.
you can
And
have
I will try.
advantage on this too, since you're
I
on
think
top of it.
I don't even know what I have here. I've got inspiration from Elvish too. So sorry, let me see. Okay. That was a 19 and a 19.
Okay, that'll hit.
Okay, let me see my attack roll. Is Oh, that was actually 19 plus 6, so I was a 25 to hit. And then it was I'm rolling a 7. I get 7 plus 4 slashing damage, which is 11. But then Cliff also gave me, that's ability roll, attack, or saving throw. Can I use that on this?
Not damage.
No. Okay. So 11
11
damage.
points. Okay. So you're cutting
yeah.
into the eyes. You can see the thing is like it doesn't really have a neck, but you can see it's like moving. It's ticked
Okay.
off.
I'm trying to just disrupt it. And then for bonus action, I will use Guidance of the Gods, and that will give me advantage on an attack roll on my next turn.
Okay.
Or attack roll, or actually, I don't need that because I will have Cliffs. So sorry, no, I'm not going to do that.
Sounds good.
Sorry. So I did that, and then I think I just want to hold on.
Kind of remain on its back and just keep your advantageous position where you're at.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move to tomfoolery.
Tom is kind of moving along with Thomas, so I think he is going to try to go after the wheels. Try to poke at him, I guess, as he's holding on, because he's like, I mean, either way, he's like 5 feet, so gotta be careful. He can't like disengage. He's in
Listen,
it.
the bus go round and round.
Yeah.
Or do
He's gonna
they?
go. I don't know. Let's find out.
Toot toot.
Oh, wait. I forgot that I had this. Let me see if this will do anything. No, we'll do the attack. Slice. 9 to hit? Probably not. Dice. 12?
Yes.
Miss. I'm gonna just go, I say, stop!
Hey, thank you so much for the follow, and thank you for the illustrations. We have the artist of Thomas the Tank in the chat. So
Wow.
Wow, great work here.
yeah, that's one of the more fun illustrations, I thought. Awesome. So let's go next to River Eagle. River Eagle is now no longer blinded. Gonna try to get some distance here from Thomas and take a shot. And she will hit and deal 5 points of damage. That'll bring us to Grimdark. Grimdark is being attacked by the dwarf crew.
Bloody dwarves. Are any of my allies within 10 feet of me?
We'll say that tomfoolery is on the ground.
Tomfoolery. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll use Guidance of the God and give myself advantage to strike at the boss dwarf, whatever his name was.
It's Gilbert.
Gilbert. That's a nat 20 again.
Oh, it's
Woo!
not looking good for Gilbert.
Does that mean double damage?
Yep.
Ooh, that's a lot of dice. I will again use the Shady Blade on him. And I'm trying to cleave his head off this time, which may very well happen. And I will re-roll that one. So we got 8, 10. 27 points of damage.
Gilbert is just
Wow.
now, son, I tell you, and his head goes flying across, and it just goes sailing into these wheels that tomfoolery is trying to work on, and the big mess right in front of your face. Little splatter right up in tomfoolery's eyes. Isaac is in a position he'd rather not be in. Gilbert is dead.
I will look down at the other dwarves who are also attacking me and say, which one wants to be next?
They both point at the other one. And that will bring us to the dwarves. We're both coming after you with their tiny little axes. One of them definitely misses, and one of them definitely hits. So that will be 5 points of damage. Gilbert is dead.
Grimdark's looking pretty rough.
Prospero, it is your turn.
Well, now that I can see, Gilbert is dead. Boy, that definitely not a horrific recreation of my childhood. Sure looks like a construct. And I remember constructs. Well, guess it's time to start blasting. And I'll point the staff of Armorgird at him and go, Arcane Artillery! And so I will blast it with a spell that is definitely not Magic Missile. 9 points of magical force damage.
9 points. Okay. Few more holes are made in its hull. It's still chugging away.
And then I'll, as a bonus action, grab my cloak and go, it's really time to not be seen. It's really time to not be seen. Hey! I become almost invisible. So all attacks made against me have disadvantage until the start of my next turn.
Awesome. That will bring us back to the top of the order for round 3, and it is Elvish's turn.
Elvish looks around at his companions. Is anyone looking rather
Grimdark.
beat up?
Yes.
Yeah, Grimdark's taking about 20 damage. He's looking pretty rough.
Are you within 40 feet of me?
Yes.
Well, then Elvish will give a little rendition of Viva Las Vigor, and you you can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your plus my minstrel level. Now, am I up to 2 now?
2 now. Yep.
Okay, so 1d8 plus 2. And that's how
You want
many
me
hit
to roll, or
points.
you want to roll?
Go ahead and roll it up, Elvish. But you gotta sing while you're doing
Okay.
it.
Yeah, do we get to hear it?
Yeah,
You will get
you're the one with the gig in Vegas.
you will get 9 points of healing.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's right, baby. All right.
And I'm going to use my bonus action again and give Tomfoolery a bonus inspiration die. So you'll be able to add 1d6 plus 1 to an ability check, attack or saving.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to is the construct just kind of wandering aimlessly?
I mean, last you saw it tried to run over tomfoolery.
Okay. I'm gonna try and stay out of the way and move to behind one of these structures.
All right, that sounds good. So Thomas's turn. It's going to like move its Gatling gun arm and try to like shoot at Larpsalot, who's like sitting on its back.
Oh no.
And it does so at disadvantage. A 13 to hit.
That misses.
All right. As it's doing so, it's moving forward. It turns and pivots a little bit. And it's going to try and move itself into tomfoolery's space.
Oh.
Strength saving throw.
Did it move away from me or did it stay
It's
near
well,
me?
right now it's trying to move over you.
Okay. I'm a little speed bump. A strength saving throw, you said?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Oh, I got a 1.
So it'll knock you prone.
Uh-oh.
But didn't you get Elvish's inspiration?
Oh, I did. I
So
did.
You get
I
a
get to add a D6 to this.
+1. D6 +1.
It's going to be a lot. Here we go. 3.
Sorry. You'll take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
I squish and lay dead. Or at least unconscious
Unconscious.
on the floor.
Larpsalot, it is your turn.
All right. I'm still on the back of this thing, and I haven't noticed anything different about it. Like, could I see that the
Making some more. There's like weird sounds happening in it, like it's a broken
Alright.
washing machine. You just don't know what the problem is.
Okay, I am taking Excalibur again, and this time I am going to use Burning Blade. So I am going to try to deal some fire damage to it in addition to my regular damage.
Awesome.
So that is. Let me make sure I understand how I'm doing this. Okay, so that's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and then okay, 1d8 plus 4. That's 6, and then 8, and an 8, 16. 16 damage.
16 damage.
But yeah, 8 of it is fire damage. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah. So you strike into it, and it seems like it's kind of like going a little haywire, and it like backs up and runs over tomfoolery again. But it's definitely going like kind of berserk.
Is he within 5 feet of me? Is he within 5 feet of me? Like he's
Is that
down on
2?
the ground.
Is that 2 death?
Just one, because it's on actually an attack roll, so it's just one fail on a saving throw. But you just see him like kind of like, why? But
I'm trying to stop it.
tomfoolery, you know exactly why. Or maybe Isaac, you know exactly why. You told that fib about your mom, and this is just karma coming back. So then that will bring us to tomfoolery. So a death saving
my
throw.
roll.
This is your roll.
20.
Oh, so you have a hit point. And you have your turn.
Defibrillated by the train.
Yeah, exactly. This train isn't looking. It's pretty strong still, huh?
It's kind of chugging along. It's not moving nearly as fast, and it's kind of going. It seems that like maybe Larpsalot hit some kind of like programming gem or something, because it's just moving and spinning around in place. And
I'm leaving. First off, I'm gonna move away. Like I'm getting out of. I'm gonna go hang out with the wizard. Like I'm. Hey, how's it go? Is it okay? Am I able to move away without
Yeah,
disengaging?
half your
All right.
movement to stand up, but then you
Okay.
can start making your way over to
Mm-hmm.
where Prospero's at.
And I think I'm gonna say, I'm gonna cast a cantrip, and I don't know if this will work on a construct, but I'm gonna still try it anyway. I'm gonna cast a roast. What that does is I unleash a barrage of scathing insults towards this creature that I see. So towards Thomas, and I'm gonna say, yeah, thanks for helping me, I guess. Ouch. But I don't like you, and you were really boring, and I always changed the channel whenever you came on. How about that, huh? I like George Carlin though. He was okay. He was my favorite part about your show.
A very
And
sad, distressed expression comes across the tank's face,
uh-huh.
and a little tear of steam starts rolling down its cheek.
All right. And I need you to beat a it says a charisma saving throw. DC 12.
I rolled a 9 minus 5 is a 4.
I should have just been doing this the whole time. Okay, so you're gonna take you are going to be taking 3 points of fire damage, and Thomas has disadvantage on the next attack.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Sniffling a bit as we turn to River Eagle's turn. River is going to take a shot at Train's face. That one she will miss. Grimdark, it is your turn. You got the two dwarves, your left and to your right, trying to tag team you.
And Thomas is within 10 feet of me too, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to stab my sword into the ground. If I have to die, well, I'm taking the rest of you with me. And I'm going to cast, what was it called? Grip of Despair. Which they have to make a DC 11 saving throw. Is that what it is? Yeah. So all three of them.
What kind of saving throw?
Wisdom.
Two dwarves fail. Thomas succeeds.
Ugh. So 6 points of damage to the two dwarves, 3 to Thomas, and the dwarves are grappled.
All right.
And then I will stand up with my sword in my hand.
All right. That will bring us to the dwarves. They're both grappled. grappled and restrained, or just grappled?
It just says grappled.
Okay. They're going to still try to attack you. At least for this turn. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
All right, that one deals 5 points of damage, and the other one gets a critical hit.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
He does 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then
Still up, but just
Prospero.
barely.
in Prospero's turn.
Prospero's going to step out from behind the cover that he's using and look at the train and just blow an enormous snot rocket onto the staff of Ermagerd and say, "You see this color? It's the same color as that green train that you sealed into a tunnel, never to be seen again.
It's horrible.
That was pretty messed up. I was 8 years old. This is for the green train." And I'm going to hurl the loogie at the construct as I cast Phlegm Flam. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
That is 1 point of acid damage. Womp womp.
1 point. It corrodes away a little piece of its nostril. And then we're gonna go up to Elvish's turn.
Who all is within 30 feet of me?
I would say you kind of ran back to be in safe distance away from the train. Let's say Prospero. We'll say Prospero and Tomfoolery was starting to retreat away as well. So we'll say those two.
Okay, both of you. I'm casting Optimist. Both of you are encouraged with my amazing positivity. So for the next minute, all targets deal maximum damage when they are hit, and you would receive maximum healing from any spells that you get.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome. I could have used that 25 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Anything else?
No, that'd be it then.
All right.
You're supposed to have maximum positivity. Remember that.
Maybe I should be frying my peanut butter sandwiches.
Thomas is going to shoot his spike cannon at Grimdark.
Oh no. He won't hit.
14 to
There's
hit,
no way.
Nope.
so he misses. It's just like kind of like wild kind of shooting. The dwarves just kind of duck, but they don't really have to, and you don't have to. He's shooting like way too high. Then we go right over to Larpsalot, who is on its back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to strike it at the heart again, using the burning blade. So
You continue to have advantage on your attacks.
okay, that's good because that was bad. Oh, no, it's 25
That'll
to
hit.
All right, and That's 7 slashing damage, and then 13 fire. So 20.
So this next strike, you impale it down like right into kind of where the head engine seems to be, and this time when you do so, a big gust of heat kind of releases and almost whistles, and you can see as it's starting to move forward, the whole thing just starts to kind of wobble, and it's like chugging violently. And you have the wherewithal to imagine you need to dismount immediately.
Yeah, I would jump off. Could I jump off at this point? I haven't moved yet.
Yes.
Can I do that?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure which direction to move because I'm not really sure, but I think that I would probably go towards one of the dwarves.
So Thomas seems to be headed towards the dwarves in Grimdark.
Okay. Is he? Are there any other party members closer to me than Grimdark, or is everybody far away now?
Grimdark is the closest. Yeah, like the next closest would be Tom Fleury's, maybe some like 15 feet away from you, like kind of moving like back into the camp.
Yeah, I would go like towards where Grimdark is and into the fray there. So
Sounds good. So Thomas is lumbering forward. And Grimdark, you're there, and the two dwarves like look up, and they have like horrified faces, like ah, and they're screaming and waving their arms. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
It's like a 10.
Okay, so you don't make it. Neither do the two dwarves, and so all of you are there, looking up at the thing as it's lumbering forward, and it just like explodes. You take 15 points of fire damage.
would I be within 5 feet of him?
Only if you want to also explode.
No, I don't.
So much for being a human paragon.
I can't help anybody if I'm dead.
So like you're like Larpsalot, you're running away and you're doing like the end of the movie runaway as this thing blows up, and you turn around. You could have swore that you gave a signal to Grimdark that this was going to happen and that you needed to move away, but you know how Grimdark is. You just had to be there in the action, and so as you turn around, you could see the shrapnel. This blue shrapnel is everywhere. The two dwarves are completely laid out. And Grimdark is just there, kind of doing his death flail on the floor.
Oh dear, my thing wouldn't have worked anyway because that wasn't an attack, so it wouldn't have helped if I would have been 5 feet within 5 feet of you. Sorry.
Are we out of combat?
You're out of combat.
I'll hobble over and say, "Oh, look painful."
Can I? Yeah, can I use Gallant's Blessing on Grimdark, which would let's see, I can touch a creature, restore anywhere for. I mean, you can get anywhere from 0 or 1 to 10 hit points. It's not a roll. Do you want to take 10 hit points? Take 10 hit points.
That's up to you. I'm dead, so.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't that? He's dead? Dead? Or
No,
Well,
he's
I'm
unconscious.
unconscious.
These people always exaggerate. They're just a flesh
You're
wound.
not that bad. No.
So warm.
You just got barbecued by an exploding coal boiler. That's all.
Yeah, I'll cut up from the other guys, the dwarves. Like they did a lot of damage, and then blown up afterwards.
Oh well, I mean that. Yeah, well, they take. I don't know. I don't know how to do this without a roll. Do you want to roll?
Well, I was gonna heal him too, but if I don't know, I think that just give him some health and that'll be good.
I'll give him 5.
Yeah.
All right. 5 points of healing has been dispensed. You're back conscious. You can see that the battle. It seems that the elves were able to defend themselves. You took on the biggest threat in the camp and kept them in the fight. As things are kind of winding down, people are checking on the wounded. At some point, the captain comes over to you, and Boldheart says she's just full of gratitude that you were here to kind of help. But she doesn't seem to remember the big chest of gold. Like you just somehow like are never able to get back onto that train of conversation because she tells you that you need to rest up, you need to heal. We
what
need
I
you to
need
go
is
into the midst of the funk and go after the others. That
it
they
was
are.
right there.
We'll talk about it when you get back. Right now, the priority is going after the disorient. You will be well compensated, I promise. And I think right there, maybe we'll take a little bit of a break. You guys will take a long rest. You can go up to level
Oh,
3.
thank goodness.
Ooh,
Oh,
And when we come
Wow.
back, we're going to pick up with you guys going after No Way and her crew. And you're going to go into the funk to try to head them off to stop them from doing whatever it is that is their objective. So, why don't we come back together at 10? So like 12 minutes from now. Thanks everybody for
What
hanging out
level
with
are we
us.
going up to?
You're gonna do the level 3 version, your final form.
Oh,
If it's your first time
Actually, that's
stopping in,
awesome.
checking in with us, just jump into our Discord server here. Put a link to that in the chat. We're gonna take a short break, and we will be right back. Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for being back with us. We are now in Act 3 of The Curse of Ermagerd. Our characters have all leveled up and taken a rest. They're all now their level 3 versions of themselves. And this is the final chapter of our story. So the characters have learned that they were attacked before we went on break by the dwarves. We're going to go real militant, and it seems like maybe they were going to go take out the other factions with a heavy hand to try to get what they want of this area, this contested area where the funk has been pervasive. But maybe the greater threat is the humans of the Disorient, who the group has come to understand might be responsible for its origins and are likely very interested in whatever the focal point of this phenomenon is. And so the group has taken a rest, and they're going to go after No Way and the other agents of the Disorient that have been reportedly gone into this area. So you're taking the elf River Eagle with you, and she's going to sort of serve as your guide as you start to traverse this unknown territory. There are no roads that lead into the funk, no signs to serve as waypoints. You just have to follow and work with River Eagle to head west into this area. You know the instant that you reach this once cursed land. The territory, it starts as a group of trees all twisted and bereft of leaves. Then you notice a flock of birds flying without an apparent destination and forming complex geometric patterns in the sky. The weather grows steadily colder, peppering you with sleet. The clouds seem to hide all traces of the sun, and when it peeks through the quilt of gray and violet, it seems to block out the sun entirely. And the wind whispers, almost forming strange language on your ears, very maddening. You have made it to the funk. You pass through this veil of purple and start to make some progress forward. The air inside this cloud that you pass through is unexpectedly hot. It stands in stark contrast to the environment outside of the funk. And sweat starts to coat your skin And for the next several hours as you're traveling, you're going to see and feel and experience all sorts of strange phenomenon, from tremors and quakes to at times you feel almost as if you are being lifted up, as if you're standing on the moon, and there's like low to no gravity. But then that quickly subsides and you falling back to earth, and get become grounded. Occasionally you see like hallucinations, maybe tomfoolery. At some point you do see a vision of your mother with one arm,
Oh,
one leg,
oh no.
and then vanishes. And so you're starting to kind of lose it a bit. Like you know that this isn't real, but it still gives you no comfort seeing these sights. But soon enough, you start to see the silhouette of what looks like a tower up ahead. And you start to make progress towards it, this structure. And there's an eerie silence that settles over you as you make it out and you approach. It seems to be a tower several stories tall, constructed of black marble that looms above you. Each section of the tower seems to sit slightly askew, perfectly level, but off-center by just a few feet, like an unstable layer of cake. You look up. A swirling vortex of gray-violet clouds obscures the summit. Twin pillars frame a single set of massive doors. Above them stretches an epigraph carved into the archway, ringed on either side by a pair of grasping claws. The letters seem to squirm, forming dwarvish runes, elvish script, disorient glyphs, and finally, familiar words of the common tongue. The words always spell out the same sentiment: abandon all reason, ye who enter here. Even as you consider how you will open the knobless black iron doors, they slowly creak outward in an ominous invitation.
Abandon all
Priscilla,
reason. I could not think of any worse thing to do in a time like this.
what's wrong with chaos?
In short, everything.
Okay.
And nothing.
So does that mean that this place is just not going to make any sense?
Oh
Going to-
boy.
I do believe I am in for several massive migraines before we're through.
Come here, Max. I'm gonna help you out. Been holding on
Well,
to this thing.
Oh,
I want to
Tom,
give you something.
I knew there was a reason we kept you around.
Hey, it's still me, Isaac, and that hurts. Either way,
All right, it was just this personality. It is rather strong.
I know it sure is. Either way, I'm gonna go up and try to reach up and boop you on the nose. Boop.
Hey, you stole my nose.
Okay. Either way, yeah.
You haven't
Congratulations.
entered yet. We haven't entered yet.
Congratulations. Congrats.
So do we go in here? I would ask like River Eagle, like this is where we're supposed to go, I guess.
She says, well, we've been traveling for some time. This is the first monument, or I don't know. I mean, it feels like this is where we're supposed to go.
So you've never seen this before?
No,
Have we ever seen this before?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
maybe.
I don't know either.
Either
Is
way,
the author in the chat?
yeah. Either way, you get advantages. You get advantage on all skill checks for the next hour.
Because you
So there
booped his
you go.
nose?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Quinn Liar's luck.
Oh,
Apparently, the god of trickery. I promise there's nothing else that comes with it. Just that. As he smiles and just looks at you.
oh yes, of course. The exact right thing to do is to believe every word you say.
Yep. All right. So we have to hurry up and get this because I still need to get that treasure. So who's gonna go first?
I will go first.
Yeah.
No, no.
I want to grab you and
no.
push you in front of me.
I'll go first.
Yeah. Hey.
All right. So the group is heading into the tower.
Oh no, battle map.
And you come in to this first chamber, which appears that the base level of the tower is bisected by a stone wall that you see in front of you that bears a single wooden door that is shaped like a shield. The space is dimly lit thanks to a pair of torches crackling at the corners of the room. Beside the entryway is an ornate wooden altar, gilded and silvered, upon which rests a yellowed scroll, an inkwell, and a gray quill. 6 swords of various sizes and styles are mounted above the table. Behind you, the double doors slam shut.
I guess we aren't leaving anytime soon.
Can't believe you led us into another trap.
Doesn't seem like a trap yet.
Yeah, you would say that.
The door just closed of its own accord. I'm pretty sure that means the only way out is through.
I wonder
Why
if
don't-
on the floor?
Why don't you take a look at that scroll? See if it'll be helpful at all.
Capital notion.
You go over to the scroll and you can see that written in common upon it, it says, "Only the mightiest will prevail."
It leaves us out.
It's just like a blank scroll and then just that.
That's all it says on, written in ink.
Only the mightiest will prevail.
And these swords,
mean-
you said there were 6
There are
swords?
6 in total. One appears to be almost like a child's plaything, a wooden dull sword. The second one is a bejeweled ceremonial sword made of gold. Not a particularly practical weapon, perhaps. The third probably appeals a bit to Grimdark. It is a razor-sharp rapier forged in black steel. The fourth is a rusty-looking cutlass stained with blood. This fifth one will especially appeal to Grimdark because it is an exact replica of his sword, Angstbringer. And then the sixth catches Larpsalot's eye because this one is a replica or a longsword that bears an uncanny resemblance to Excalibrant.
Isaac, you should take the gold sword. If they don't give us anything, then at least you'll have that. And I'm going to grab the one that you said Grimdark would like. That looks like Art Anksbanger.
I take the wooden one.
Oh, I was going to take the wooden one. For I fight not with arms, but with my mind.
I'll
You
take the
both
gold
touch the wooden sword at the same time, and it's awkward.
I will, of course, defer to the king.
Yeah,
What?
I got it.
Don't you have a sword already?
I have a dagger.
But I mean, I have a sword already.
Yeah, but you can always use another one.
I can?
Oh, if you don't want it, I'll take it.
I can use 2 swords at once? Can I?
I don't know. Can you?
I think you would prefer to use your shield.
I think so too.
Shields.
I want to go look. Could I is anybody touching their respective
Yeah, I'll take mine out.
Yeah, you take it off the wall.
Yeah.
It's feels like, it's got heft to it. It feels like equal weight to the sword that you have.
Who wants the rapier?
I'll take the gold one. Which one's the gold one?
Gold one is just like a ceremonial. It's very lightweight. It doesn't feel
Right.
like it'd be probably very useful in combat situation, but
That's good.
perhaps valuable.
Yeah. I'm gonna just keep it and just put it in.
What did the scroll say?
Yeah.
Only the what
Only the mightiest will prevail.
will what?
Will prevail, I think.
Fail.
Yep.
It's obvious. It's obvious what you do. Use your sword and just hit it up against this other one. Right? That's what it's saying. Test which one is stronger. Right? Simple.
Could be. I like my sword.
So then, which swords are left then?
There's still a rusty cutlass stained with blood. Has
The cutlass and the rapier.
the cutlass and the rapier, and I don't know, Larpsalot, did you take your sword? Or the one that looks like your sword?
I didn't yet, but I think I will at least take it and look at it, and see if it feels similar or.
Yeah, it feels authentic. It feels you know your sword, so like you probably are able to detect small imperfections and whatnot. It's like looking at the real thing and the a cheap or maybe not a cheap replica, but a replica. So like it's almost like too perfect, the other one.
I mean, I guess I'd take it as long as I could just stash it somewhere.
Sure, yeah, you can definitely do that.
What's on the? There's a quill in the ink. It looks like that's what the scroll was written with.
Yeah.
Ah, the pen is mightier than the sword.
There you go.
Ah.
Yes.
Wire.
Wire. Take it.
And
That's very insightful.
Prospero will grab the quill and then repeat the text underneath. Only the mightiest will prevail.
You stand looking around. Nothing happens.
Yeah, well, it felt good. And then this is a nice quill, and those swords are useless. And so he pockets the quill.
I'd like to go look at the door.
So you go back over to the door, which appears to be designed in the likeness of a shield. There's no handle upon it. There's just a metal door. Looks kind of like a tower shield.
Is anything around it that looks like it's movable or levers or stones or anything like that?
Nothing like there's no machinery, no mechanism, no nothing that you can see that would be the obvious way to open this door.
Obviously, this is fake. Obviously, it's an illusion. I think I'm going to try to just walk right through.
Boom! You hit your head.
Ow.
Feels
it turns out
very
you can't
real.
just say "I disbelieve" to everything.
Tom, I'm surprised you were fooled by that.
Ouch.
Can I go look at the torches? Like, can I take a torch out of the?
Yeah, you can take it out of its holder and
I want to go look at the door closer with the light and see if there's anything else happening.
you can make an investigation check.
That's a 7.
So for 10 minutes, you're like looking around, with the torch, like inspecting everything you can, and you don't find anything that strikes you as like a hidden or secret mechanism.
Isaac,
Yeah.
you are the most chaotic person I know. I am trying to reason through abandoning all reason. So, what would you do other than bang your forehead against a solid door?
That's what I was thinking. I don't know. Maybe
Should we all switch weapons?
Okay, I guess. I would do that if you told me to do it, I guess. And then I would take the quill and maybe try to knock at it. Try to use that to break down the door.
Use
maybe?
the quill, you touch the door.
Yeah,
The
that's
door
what I would do.
dissolves and disappears.
Thank you for asking. That was pretty good.
Oh, there's the
Simple.
first migraine.
I guess we found out who the smart one around here is.
Was there any question? Forward!
No, let's go.
On the other side, between two pillars that are holding up the ceiling, you can see a staircase that leads up.
Well, follow me. And I'll head up the stairs.
And here, you make your way up. Just like the ground floor, the second level of this tower is split in half by a solid stone wall. However, the windowless semicircle in which you find yourself seems to be larger than what was below. And the single door is of unremarkable design, constructed from roughly hewn planks. Beside the door is a crooked wooden table covered in scratches and dents. An unskilled but unmistakable rendering of an open, toothy maw has been covered into its surface. The only item on the table is an unlit candle. Its blue-black wax is flecked with specks of white.
I think that candle was used for more than just light.
There's a maw inscribed in the table.
Yeah, it's like
where is the candle relative to the maw?
We'll say the candle, like it's the candle sitting in the middle of the table, and like the maw is like around it, almost like its place in the table.
Okay, so it's seated in the center of the maw.
Correct.
Well, lighting the candle seems to be the first obvious thing.
You go and you light the table, or light the candle on the table, and the entire room becomes embroiled in darkness.
Uh-oh.
You can
Okay.
see kind of like a tiny blue flame, but that's like the only thing you can see. Everything else is blacked out.
Candle of darkness does the opposite of what you would think.
He'll snuff out the candle.
And then as
Seems
soon
to
as you do
absorb
that,
light rather
light
than
comes
give light.
back. And the effect is
Then
dispelled.
perhaps this closed door is actually open.
I'm going to hold my sword out in front of me and try and walk through the door.
Okay. Like you're gonna open the door, or are you gonna do a tomfoolery and just literally walk
Well,
through the door?
I'm going to see if the sword can go through the door, and if it doesn't, then I'll just open the door.
Okay, yeah, it seems solid. Like it's not an illusion. And then you open the door, and when you do, this blinding, intense light hits all of you, and you are going to hurt.
Oh no.
Quick, light that candle.
Let me just see. Yeah, so you're all instantly blinded, and it's almost as if something is attacking you that you can't see.
Oh no.
There's a bunch of things like gnawing at you, trying to bite at you, Grimdark.
Oh,
8
that's good.
piercing damage, and another 8 piercing damage.
Ouch.
I'll give you. I'm not gonna roll initiative exactly, but what do you do as this is happening to you?
How much damage? I didn't catch that.
That was to Lord Grimdark.
Oh,
Sorry, it's only him. He's the only one that's being affected by whatever it is that is biting and gnawing at you that as you open the door.
What am I doing?
What are you doing in response? Yeah.
I will. I'll cast Apathetic Retreat and move away from whatever's biting me. And Apathetic Retreat doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Okay. Is there anything in addition to withdrawing that you're doing?
Well, I'm nowhere near the candle, so I can't do that. I'll probably swing my sword down.
Okay, you're gonna make an attack roll before you go.
No, because I can't do both. Both are in action.
Oh,
right?
okay. Okay. So you move away. We'll roll initiative.
I'm just saying for them.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Grimdark, what did you have?
19.
Elvish
for
initiative.
rolling initiative. 12.
Prospero,
7.
Larpsalot,
9.
and Tom.
19.
All right. Let's go. We'll go Grimdark, Tomfoolery, the Enemy, Elvish, Larpsalot, Prospero, and River. So we start with Grimdark. You've retreated away. I guess we got tokens there, so we could do that. I will just. What will I put up? Well, you don't know. I guess this is perfect because you can't see. You're blinded.
We're still blinded.
Yeah.
Can I move forward and close the door?
Yes. Although I wish you would have said that before initiative.
Oh. Okay, that's what I will do.
You close the door. Okay, sounds good. Door's closed.
So this time we light the candle and then open the door.
Sure, but I'm not sitting anywhere near it.
Awesome. Yeah, so you light the candle and give it another try to open the door. And it would seem that now you can see what these things are that were biting at Grimdark. And there's just these stony skinned, almost like real pathetic looking gargoyle type creatures that I think what you're getting the sense of is that they hate this candle that you have lit. That amidst this darkness, it's the only thing that can dull the brightness that is coming from that room. And so as you're coming in with the candle, they all kind of like rescind and kind of like fly on back to the back wall and seem to give you a wide berth to cut through the room and get to the staircase.
So-
When we get there, can I heal up Grimdark a little bit?
Yeah, you got a moment here to use some abilities or cast some spells.
Okay.
Can we see what's making this bright light? Like where it's coming from?
It doesn't seem to have an origin point. Like it just seems to be a like permanent effect of the room. And of
So we
course,
should
it's kind of dulled with the candle, so it's hard. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint if there even is an origin point.
So we take the candle with us and continue through the steps, or do you guys want to fight these guys?
I think we should.
Yeah,
fix
let's continue through.
We can just keep the candle lit, and then we'll be there on our way back.
You got 10 points of healing.
Thank you.
And you get some purple spots too for 2 hours.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
buddy.
You're friends to the end.
Uh-huh.
Now I could spot you.
Am I purple
You already
because
did.
of the kings? Is that why I'm purple?
I think it's a secondary effect from the spell that he just cast.
That's my spell. I cast trick and treat.
Okay,
What happened
so
to Brutus last week?
Mm-hmm.
He became the spotted cow.
could have been orange. That would have been better.
Ooh.
But I digress.
All right.
At some point, as you're moving up these stairs and you have that candle, you're going to realize that you enter back into a like blinding darkness where the candle maybe is no longer serving you.
Who's carrying it? Are you carrying it, Prospero?
Oh, I thought we were leaving it.
No, I thought we were taking it with us, but we can just blow it out and stash it away for return trip.
Yeah. So we don't have to fight those things.
That's what I would suggest. But can we blow it out for
I
now?
guess then the candle doesn't potentially run down if it's still burning in the room. Yes. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Well, plus the whole darkness thing.
We can't see.
So you extinguish the candle and stow it away for should you
Mhm.
need it. And you arrive here on the 3rd floor of the tower, which appears to be much smaller than its predecessors, with barely enough room for you all to kind of squeeze up and look around. You're not here alone. There is a sole occupant, a tall, slim figure wrapped in a gray cloak and cowl. The stranger lowers her hood, revealing somewhat pointy ears, almost almond-shaped eyes, and a face both pretty and petulant. Phasing in between a solid state and a translucent state, the Phantom says, "Ages ago, I gave my life to seal away the entropy magic that sought to flow into Mezzo-Earth. However, my sacrifice was squandered when you ventured into this unholy land and seized my staff, which had served as lock and key for containing this catastrophe. Now a great evil has escaped its shackles and is drawing on the power of the funk, concentrating the entropy magic into its vile personage. Very soon, this denizen of Disastrix's domain will become unstoppable. Supposed heroes of this realm, what do you have to say for yourselves?"
Uh, uh, if I guess your name, you won't be mad at us, and you help us.
Say my name.
Ermagerd!
Ermagerd is right. That's me.
Good? We're all good?
No, we're not all good.
Oh.
Technically, it was the wizard that did it.
I can see that, but you're all enabling him.
Did you want your staff back?
What was that?
Did you want your staff back?
Well, it's too late. I mean, now the thing is unleashed. There's a beast to deal with.
But we could seal
That's
it
why
away.
we're here to deal with it.
You would give your life to do so?
Well, we'd like to
Grimdark's life
avoid
or
that.
my life?
You're going to do whatever's necessary, right?
I'm sure at least one of us will, yes?
What kind of beast are we talking about here?
It's kind of like a dragon.
Oh.
Do you have experience with?
A funky dragon?
It's pretty funky. It's probably the nastiest dragon I've ever heard of. You may want to cover your noses if you go up there. It's stanky.
It's in the tower.
It's just above us, yes.
Like, all right. I'm gonna get my
So if
handkerchief
it's
and cover
drawing
my
power
nose.
from the funk, but the funk is receding, but that's a bad thing?
It's really bad. It's coalescing, it's collecting and forming. It's drawing power from it.
Can we huddle up for
So
a
if we
minute?
kill it. Yes, Lord Grimdark.
Okay, so everything's been backwards since we came in here.
Sort of.
Oh.
Sort of. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Like dark candles make dark. A pen can open a door.
Yeah, but that's because it was like the saying. It's not backwards.
So you
And we need to
you think
kill
that we should
Ermagerd.
Yeah.
I mean, it does take a certain abandonment of reason to think a pen is mightier than a sword. I know which one I'd rather have if I was in a fight.
I don't understand it. So this is actually abandoning
But
reason for me.
I believe what Lord
because-
Grimdark is getting at is that Ermagerd is the dragon.
But if we put the staff back, it seals the rift. But it's too late to do that because the dragon's out.
Well, according to Ermagerd, can we believe any? Like, it'd be like listening to
Ermagerd.
tomfoolery here. Like, can we believe anything he says?
You
Yes.
know what? If that's really Ermagerd, they might be able to identify that token that you won to know whether or not it actually belongs on the staff or not. Because the old guy said it was the top of the staff, right? But it's not the top of the staff, right?
Yes, Tom.
Oh, trying to ask it a question that only Ermagerd would know.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. We could
And
say
I believe Ermagerd did battle with the dragon. How else would she have sealed it away?
Ah, that's a good idea. Who wants to do that?
okay, is River Eagle like this doesn't recognize this
I'm here.
as the person. Is this? Are you huddling with us?
Yeah. Oh, can I? I wasn't sure if I was allowed.
Is that Ermagerd?
I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
she makes a convincing case. I mean, she must be. You think she's real? Do you think it's a spirit?
Well, she's fading in and out, sort of.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
Does she have any advice on how to defeat this dragon-like creature above us?
You asking me or Ermagerd?
Well, I think we should ask her, and
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea.
if she's probably fought it before.
Maybe she knows how to open this box.
The spirit of Ermagerd is just like kind of pretending like she can't hear like anything you guys are saying. She's just like hovering over, just like doo 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 doo.
Hey, Ermagerd.
Yes.
I got a brain buster for you.
Lay it on me.
What do I have in my pocket?
I don't know.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Limburger sandwich.
Oh, what is that?
It's a stinky cheese.
Oh. Okay, here you go. This is what it is.
I didn't guess.
It's okay. Last guess. You should, if you're really Ermagerd, you would know what this is.
It's not in your pocket anymore, so it's not the
That's
correct
fine.
answer.
That's okay.
Oh, we're not playing the game. Okay.
Nah.
It looks like
Call
a
back.
blue gem. It looks like a counterfeit top to my staff.
Oh, it's Ermagerd.
Ermagerd.
Ermagerd, it's Ermagerd.
That's right.
Oh, there you go.
Hey guys.
Oh,
She's like wondering why people keep saying her name.
yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you have any advice on how to take care of the stinky dragon?
I don't have advice, but maybe I have a gift that I can give you that might help.
At least one of us likes gifts.
Are you prepared to accept the gift?
Hmm.
Our time
What is
together
it?
will be over once I give it to you.
That's okay. What is it?
And she just nods, and you can just see like her whole form kind of coalesces and starts to transform and morph into this satchel that drops to the ground.
Oh,
See if there's anything in it.
dibs.
Nose plugs, maybe.
So you run up and take a look at the purse of Ermagerd. This gray pouch has an interior space. As you reach in, it's very similar to the bag that Elvish was boasting about earlier. But it feels like maybe there are things, objects in the bag. You're just kind of like fishing around. You can't see, it's just darkness inside, but you can kind of feel that your hand is moving about and knocking against different objects.
So many things in here.
Oh, check it out.
Once
Let's see
per
them all.
Pull it
day,
out.
you can use this. Do you want to use it?
Yes, we have to do
Maybe-
it before.
All right,
Right?
roll me a
Everybody?
D10.
Really? Okay. We
Well,
need to use
yeah.
it before or when we get up there.
Well, if
Well,
we
it's
use
once
it
per
before.
day, so
It's not a
Got it.
bad thing if you use it right now.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The item's not going to expire, right? Yeah.
5.
You pull out a vial of a bubbly, bright green concoction. But I won't tell you what it does until you drink it.
Wow.
It's probably good.
It's bright
Yep.
green.
Yeah.
Bright green, eh?
Looks really good.
What does it
That
smell like?
acid.
Looks like Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
Oh, I love Mountain Dew.
Well, you do? Then here you
Dude.
go.
Wait. You can't just drink stuff.
Baja Blast. I'll get some Taco Bell when I get out of here.
You want to give it
I'll
a little
drink
bit of
it.
a taste?
Yeah, I'll drink
Maybe it's acid.
So, are you like guzzling it down, or are you just giving it a little bit of a?
a little bit of a taste.
Okay, yeah, it kind of tastes a little bit like Surge.
Sir.
So this would act as a stamina potion. It'll give you hit points to heal you up. Only needed to use a bonus action to administer it. So
Oh, well, that's handy.
it'll be handy.
I seem to be getting hurt a lot.
Where's the G Fuel sponsorship? Yeah. So with that, Ermagerd is gone. She gave you this little bit of a boon before she left. Led
I
to
wonder
believe
if
that
she's
if you go
coming back.
up those stairs, you'll might face some kind of nasty dragon.
Before we go up, I'm going to shift that Quinn Liar's luck over to Sir Larpsalot. Give him get that bonus on your saves or advantage on skill checks, such as like athletics and stuff like
Okay, thanks. Did I get
Does
any
it
spots?
specifically say skill checks, or does it say ability checks?
that. Skills.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for ability because then Larpsalot would also get advantage on initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Are we really going to kill a dragon?
Yeah.
Because
I
honestly,
really think we are.
it's been a lifelong dream of mine to kill a dragon.
Really? Do you want to
Yeah.
go first?
I think we should send the one with the shield first.
And then you right behind them.
That's me.
There is a
That's
horde up
honest.
there, right? If it's a dragon. Dang, we should have asked that.
I just,
Dang it!
You were like, give me the bag.
Come back! Yell it to the back. We're not-
Distracted
one
by
more-
the small treasure and forgetting about the big.
Oh, I'm sorry.
dragon.
You're like,
Dragon's
bye,
always that
see ya,
way.
bye. Like, can we get her back? No, okay.
Maybe if you rub the bag and say her name 3 times.
I,
Ain't never had
Oh.
a friend like me, Ermagerd.
Miss
So,
Gerda, man.
do we want to just march up there? Because I mean, I've got like 0 stealth. So if we're gonna
Yeah.
just march up, then we should. I'll go first.
I think we should try and be sneaky up there.
Then
If
I
we can-
probably shouldn't go first.
Yeah, who's sneaky though? I don't think any of us. We should be loud.
I'm
Could it
not
be you,
particularly
maybe?
Nope.
You
I'll
try.
hold the bag.
Some of you are loud, some of you are quiet. You're
Yeah.
moving up these stairs, and you reach the summit of the tower.
Oh no.
The impossibly flat top of the tower is far more spacious than the floors beneath. Open air surrounds the platform, which appears to be little more than a disk of black stone hovering over a layer of gray-violet clouds that undulate violently as far as the eye can see. This is like a Final Fantasy like end boss like scenario where you're like living on a cloud, flying through all sorts of anime miasma, and it's just crazy. There's a gleaming white throne, large enough for a giant, that stands in the center of the space. It's empty at the moment. Something here.
We should spread out.
You see suddenly an absolute this vortex kind of coalesces around the summit, and it ceases in its swirling and seems to coalesce right there on this throne. A deafening noise overwhelms you, a cross between rushing floodwaters and a roar. Dark brown smoke erupts from the seat of the throne, undulating wildly before settling into an unmistakably draconic shape. Even as the beast's features come into focus, soulless black eyes, twisted horns, massive black wings, and scales that range from a dull gray-violet to a slick, revolting brown, the shape of the thing retains a smoky, shadowy quality. Perched on the porcelain throne, the Komodo dragon leans forward, flashes a toothy grin, and growls, "Though I have yet to regain my full strength, I am more than capable of dispatching the likes of you. Come taste my power." You can roll initiative. Oh, No Way is also here, and No Way is wearing the mask, but seems to be almost kind of like shambling a little bit, just like kind of almost zombie-like in its movements. And there's two other masked disorient humans nearby that also seem to have this weird behavior, almost like they're under some kind of spell or influence of the dragon.
I'm sorry, did you just say that those were two other humans that were there?
Yep, two more of the like masked disorient there.
Okay, I'm sorry. We just heard a car crash out
Oh, no.
outside of my house. That's why I was
Oh
like,
Yikes.
no!
so I was
Hopefully
distracted. I'm sorry.
Hopefully not too bad.
It's not in my street. It's behind us, so it's loud though.
Okay. Way. Okay, Grimdark.
18.
18. Elvish.
Uh, 6.
6. Redeem the players a reroll. Awesome. Thank you so much. Big Elf, we appreciate that. Thanks for the reroll to help them in their moment of need here. This is the big bad. Prospero, what did you have?
11.
Larpsalot,
14.
Tom,
10.
and River gets a 12. So we will go. Grimdark is up first. Larpsalot. River. Prospero. Tom. Elvish. The baddies did really bad here. No Way. And then the dragon is last. So, Grimdark, you are up first. So, a few things. The terrain here on top of the disc, there's almost like this entropy magic that seems to be influencing this area. So moving through is sluggish, and you're going to be like, it's going to be like difficult terrain moving anywhere here on the top of the tower.
I guess I'll move there. I guess deal with this guy first. I don't know.
Focus on the dragon.
Go for the dragon.
All right, I will take a swing at the dragon, and I will use Guardian of the Gods to give myself advantage. That's a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
I guess I'll dump a couple of Shadow Blades on him too. If we're going to kill the dragon, we might as well do it quickly. This will probably just make it angry. 27 points of damage.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah, making it angry. Sounds like a good idea. That's it, I guess. For me, yep.
All right. Next up is Tom Foolery.
All right.
Is it? Or
Sorry,
I-
I'm
I-
looking at the old one. Sorry.
yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was
Larpsalot
me.
is second.
So if it's difficult terrain, that's half our distance, half our speed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect the distance on like spells or anything, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure on this. So I'm going to try to focus on the dragon as well for this and I'm going to grab Excalibur and I'm going to use Sacred Blade, which is flame like radiance bursts from the tip of my weapon and soars towards the dragon. It's a 60 feet distance. And how do I do this? Charisma is my spell modifier. Okay. Sorry. So it's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And then it is 4d6. Six is 11. I do 11 radiant damage, and
Radiant. He's vulnerable to that, so it's double damage.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
And then it says the next attack roll made against the target has advantage, thanks to the fiery halo surrounding the target.
All right.
I would also like to move a little bit, so I'm going to move 15 feet. Let's see, I'll just go to here. Spread out.
Awesome.
Is he resistant to cold damage?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Let's see. So then next up would be Tom Foolery.
All right. Tom Foolery is going to look at this dragon. You said the next person that attacks it gets advantage?
Yeah.
The next
Okay.
attack roll, yeah.
I guess I'll take it. I'll go ahead. And now, but he's not really going to move forward. He's going to sit there, and he's going to have his daggers, and he's going to just throw them from there at the dragon. So that, and I have advantage. My first attack. An 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, so I'm gonna do this plus some. Ooh, 4 plus 8 plus. Let me say my plus 3. 11 points of damage.
All right.
These are magical hits. They're from +1 dagger. And then I'm gonna throw my second one. Does a 16 hit?
That will hit.
All right, damage. That will be 7 points of damage. Bonus action, I'm going to snap my fingers, and they both appear in my hand again. And then I'm going to duck down and go like maybe 5-10 feet down the steps.
Sounds good. Next up, we got Prospero.
Sparrow. Gonna move. Trudging against the entropy, and then just kind of says, "Well, this is a shot I cannot resist. So I've been waiting to blast a dragon in the face with a little bit of arcane artillery." And 4 big red, like cartoonishly sized rockets appear on the staff of Ermagerd as I just like set them all off as I cast arcane artillery at second level for 16 points of force damage.
And this is all at the dragon?
All the dragon. Yep. No, we're going full in on the dragon, hoping to break
Okay.
free these disorient folks.
Awesome. That will take us to Elvish. Or no, sorry, Tom. Wait. 1, 2. Oh, I skipped River. That's who I skipped. River will take a shot at. She really doesn't like. No way. I'm gonna take a shot at no way. Critical failure. So she'll just miss. Alright. Elvish, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm casting Opti Mist and on Lord Grimdark and Sir Larpsalot, and that's to get maximum damage on an attack or receive maximum healing on from spells.
Awesome.
And I'm also going to do a bonus action, inspiring anthem to give Tom Foolery a inspiration die, 1d6 plus 1.
All right.
And I'll move a little bit here. I don't seem to be able to move the thing.
Can't move your token?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry.
All right.
That's it.
So No Way is up next. No Way, like the arrow that got shot at them, like completely whiffs. But No Way seems somewhat drawn in by Grimdark and just gets up real close, chakras in hand, and is just like, I don't think that we have been introduced. You have a non-offensive aura about you, and is going to try to take a swing. 21 to hit Grimdark.
That'll hit.
5 slashing damage. They are going to use a bonus action to use their other one. That one's a crit. That will be 8 points of slashing damage. The other, what are these guys called? Najins. This one right here is going to turn to you, Grimdark, and try to attack. They also have the chakrams. 13.
No, you need a 16.
Second attack will hit. That one will do 2 points of slashing damage. This one right here sees the king, Elvish Presley, and is not impressed. Makes themselves invisible. And then you don't see where they go. The Komodo dragon's turn. The dragon's voice responds to all of the pain, all this damage that you're inflicting upon it. Because, I'm on the toilet here. Not cool. And it's going to start flapping its wings furiously, sending wet, putrid wind gusting out in a 40-foot cone.
Dinky.
So stinky.
I knew this creature would not follow the rule of the courtesy flush.
I think it's going to go right here. So this will affect Elvish, Eagle, and is that tomfoolery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a reaction against this too.
Okay, what's your reaction?
It's called half whip. Whenever a creature you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can fire a verbal barb at the creature, reducing the result by half. And I'm going to do it against the damage.
Okay. You may
Sorry.
want to save that, but
Okay. Question. I moved down 10 feet. Would that still affect me?
you're in the stairwell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it does. Like the force
Okay.
is gonna start.
So
But it's gonna,
stinky.
if you get hit by it, you'll tumble down the stairs,
Okay.
which is well,
Okay.
it's only down to the Ermagerd room, so it's not as bad as tumbling down into the bright room. You guys need to make strength saving throws.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong thing. It's a Constitution saving throw, and it's not a cone. I don't think it matters. It's going to be the same people. It's a square. Sorry, Constitution saving throw. DC 13.
Let me see my modifier. Nice. 15. I'm good. I pass.
So 13 is a pass. You'll take half damage. If you fail, you take full. It's 21 poison damage is the full.
Oh.
I rolled a 13, so
So you take half.
well, but I did the half wit, so so would that be half of the half?
Sure.
So what would that be then?
I guess it would be 5 points.
5. Okay.
You said that was poison?
Poison damage.
Nice. I have resistance. Sweet.
River.
So a half of a half of a half.
She's still good. But she took all of it. She's at about probably 50% health. Okay. The dragon is going to use a bonus action to swap 2 characters that it can see. And it's going to choose to swap River Eagle and Grimdark. Grimdark, could you give me a Constitution saving throw? It's chaos.
17.
All right, you'll take 10 poison damage.
Down to half because I'm also resistant to poison.
All right. The dragon lets out a sigh of relief and regains some hit points,
Oh no.
drawing from the power of the porcelain throne. That'll bring us back to the top, and it is Grimdark's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna drink the potion as a bonus action. You said.
Yeah.
How many hit points do I get out of that?
It is. Let's see, magic item. Huzzah! 1d6 plus 4.
So 10,
And
because I automatically get the max amount, right?
10 would be max. Thank you so much for the follow, OMGM. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you haven't done so already, please come and join us in Discord. Do a lot of the recruiting and gathering of players for our games directly there. Thanks so much
We'll
for hanging out.
move up to this guy here. Since I can't reach the dragon, I will swing my sword at him. No advantage this time. That would be 18 to hit.
That will hit.
So that would be
Max.
16 points of damage.
All right.
Oh, might as well do a the smite or whatever it's called, shady blade. So another 16, so 32 altogether.
32 altogether.
Did you
It's so good.
count that spell I did for you?
You just did,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
Do maximum?
Yeah,
Mhm.
32.
Okay.
You hit the dragon, he just lets out a big flatulent noise that I'm not going to reproduce today right here, but it's bad.
Oh, not on the dragon because I can't reach him. He's too
Oh,
far
not
away.
okay.
Yeah, it'd be the guy here.
One of the one of the Najins. 32 points though. Maybe he's, let's see.
That can't feel good.
Don't feel good. He's down. He's dead. He's gone. There's a flush sound that is made as he drops.
And that's it for me.
Sounds good. Larpsalot, it is your turn.
Okay, so you said that the dragon regained hit points because he's on the toilet, and it's
Yes.
in the middle. It's in the middle of the room. So is it like in that center square? Is that how big it is? Like
It's
one
huge.
square there?
Yeah.
It's that whole square, that whole thing.
It's like 10 feet. You know, it is able to support the weight of this massive dragon.
One big toilet. Ooh.
I'm trying to count distance here. Hold on a second. 5, 10, 20. All right. I'm going to let's see. Boldly challenge the dragon with honor bound, which the target must make a wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC. On failure, the creature is compelled to accept the challenge, and for the duration, it can't attack a creature other than me or move to a space that is more than 20 feet away from me.
It locks eyes with you. It sees that look of the challenge. You can see this like he finishes his business and he stands up and just like leers over. He's ready.
You're so gross.
Ugh.
All right. Oh, save DC. A wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC. Okay.
Yeah, he fails. I rolled an 8, so.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Okay. So he's gonna follow me then, I guess, right?
Yep.
So I'm moving. I'm gonna go back here.
And you can see his gaze is like following you, like you're his next target. Awesome. So that was Larpsalot. I made a mistake last time, and I flipped Tom and River around, so it's River, Eagles. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to do a bonus action of the
Yes.
guidance of the gods, so that gives yeah, I have advantage on my next thing. So okay.
Awesome. River Eagle is here and is right in melee with No Way, so she is going to she'll pull out. She's got a spear. She grabs, try to stab forward, and +4, 13 against misses. That'll bring us to Prospero's turn.
Right. So the dragon looks like it's going to leave the throne.
Yep. It's getting ready to take flight.
Okay, but before it leaves the I'm not sure what you had, but it sure smells like a chili burrito. And so
Yes.
I will cast Torchnado on the dragon. Every creature in a 10-foot radius, so like just the dragon, must make a dexterity saving throw against my spell save DC.
It rolls a 4.
So it takes 17 points of fire damage.
Explosive.
Ideally placed like right between where the dragon is and the toilet. For the comedy.
Yeah, a little bit of damage on the toilet.
Yes, it does damage objects in the area and ignites flammable objects that aren't being worn or carried.
Like that gas?
Like probably all of the gas that is likely somewhere in the mystical, magical plumbing of this toilet.
The gas, the funk.
All right.
No.
Both toilet and dragon have taken damage. That
And then I try and turn invisible, but don't.
no go. Tomfoolery, you are up.
All right. So I'm sure we're fine, but just to be clear, if I hit this dragon, it's still going after you, right, Larpsalot? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go up and run up. Is this poison cloud still here?
It is still there.
If is it like if I end my turn in it, then
Stinky.
so stinky. All right. Well, uh, let me see. Doop. All right. I'm going to throw my daggers. Here we go. I got a 7. I'm going to use that inspiration die. Oh, nice. 14 hit.
That will miss.
Okay. Second throw. 16.
That one hits.
All right, great. Get some damage, and I have allies there. Cool. So a total of 9 points of damage.
Oh. All right.
And that will be it.
Elvish Presley, you are up.
All right. Elvish is moving up here. And Elvish doesn't know why, but he seems to be more scared of the toilet than the dragon.
Feed me, Seymour.
Oh no!
He fires his bow, and that's a 17.
Hits.
Okay, so it's only 2 points of damage. He's going to do a bonus action and give Prospero an inspiring, inspiration die. So
All right.
And that's a D6.
a D6 plus 1.
Ooh, fancy.
On No Way's turn, they make a couple attacks on River. Both hit. Dealing a total of 10 damage. River's still up. Couple of attacks emerge on Prospero from an invisible Najin. One that went invisible. Gets a critical hit.
May I take a reaction?
Potentially. What is
If a hostile creature you can see moves within 10 feet of you,
Oh, it's
which I would
invisible.
see before. Well, I would see it before it makes the attack, right?
No, because it's invisible.
No? Okay, well then I'll see it after the second attack.
Yeah.
Unless it stays invisible.
You will take 13 points of slashing damage. And yes, on the second attack it'll be visible.
Okay, cool. A fog of war erupts out of the staff of Ermagerd, covering a 10-foot radius sphere all around me. So all creatures within the space are temporarily blinded and make attacks at disadvantage.
Okay. 19 on his first one. And higher on the second. the second of the things. So a 19 out of
Mhm.
21. So 5 points of slashing damage.
I'm just cursed to play this character eternally with 3 hit points.
All right, the dragon takes flight and moves.
Oh, there it is. There's the toilet.
There's a toilet. Big, yeah. Just
Think
like
we have to clog the toilet up?
dive bombs. Sir Larpsalot is going to make a couple of, or one claw attack and one bite attack.
I'm going to reaction one of those,
Okay.
which is Shield Boss. So I don't know which one of it, but it would I thrust out my shield and impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay. Disadvantage on this first one. Okay. 7 plus 5. 12 will miss.
Misses.
Then the claw is normal. That one is a 23 to hit.
Oh, that hits. Yep.
So that's 10 slashing damage. And he grapples you.
Okay.
Just to take flight.
Bye.
Right here. All right. So it moves to Grimdark. Dragon's not looking particularly well, but has Larpsalot held over
And they're
this
in the air.
endless miasma. Yeah. So felling the dragon could be problematic right now.
And how high is, like, we're quite high at this point, right?
I mean, the tower is like,
We went up 3-4 stories.
yeah, it's probably what 40, 50 feet in the air. And then the dragon's, yeah, pretty much right over that. So it's probably about tricky fall and you're assuming that it actually will fall down to the ground, right? Like you can't see. Like it's this really weird environment up here.
Shoot. Okay, I will move over here. Fire my trusty hand crossbow at the dragon. It's 24 to hit.
That hits.
So that would be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move over here and swing my sword at the human here. Oh, that's no good. 8.
That one misses. Larpsalot, it is your.
So what does it mean when I'm grappled? What can I do?
Basically your movement speed is 0 currently. You still can do actions and things like that. Just movement is the thing that's hampered.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do. I guess I could just try to slash it from where I am. And I think I'll do that. I'll just do a regular melee attack with it. So I'll use Excalibur and slash at it, at its leg or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe it's that misses. It's an 11.
There is a party reroll that has not been used.
You should use it.
Oh, use
Do
it.
it.
Okay.
And it's live.
You can survive
That's
5d6 falling damage, right?
that's a 20, 22 to hit. Sorry.
That'll hit.
I lost my math. It's late. Sorry. And then I need my D8. That does 6 slashing damage.
Remember, you have full damage, right?
Oh,
You got the
Do
max
I still?
damage.
okay. So that's 12 then if it's full slashing damage.
So you cut into it. The dragon holding you in its paw is about to turn around and give a dire warning to the party about if they strike it, he will, your life will be. It doesn't even get into the monologue, but because you just go, strike out and plunge Excalibur into its throat, and it just and it releases you, and it starts to fall, and it fades into the miasma, as do you. And as you plummet, I have to find out what happens to you because I think there's something about that. We will just say that Sir Larpsalot is gone. You never hear a splat. Just like a little bit of a
Ermagerd.
cough. And oh my god. It's like falling down.
I'm
If
gonna be
I-
like, I got it. I see him. He's falling. I think he's dead. Oh shit.
But so there's that piece of it. Seeing Larpsalot, your friend, fall is a little bit horrifying. But with their final blow, there's just like this sound of wailing and other discordant sounds that assail your senses, and the shadowy silhouette of the dragon, as it begins to fall, solidifies and just seems to kind of melt into a brown sludge that is
Oh no.
absorbed into the purple cloud
If-
below.
I hope I don't fall
Poopy.
into that.
If Elvish can get down to the bottom of the tower and find Larpsalot's body, he may be able to revive her.
So you leave the tower. You're gonna go down there. You're gonna go down to the base of the tower and check it out.
Yeah, I'd have to come with the candle.
It's just it's like the aftermath of Ghostbusters 1, except it's not marshmallow.
Oh no.
Larpsalot
And
is
everything
all over.
is a little dry by the time you get down there, so but there's just it's so nasty. There's just one hardened stool that starts to crumble, and you see some fingers reaching up and out, a sign of life. And you go over there and you start bashing, and you break Larpsalot out of their encasement.
Wow.
They're okay.
That was horrible.
Yeah, because I had a spell, Return to Slumber, which would revive somebody who had gone down to 0 hit points.
They may want to go back to 0 hit points right now for a little nappy to forget about this experience.
Do I? Yeah. What do I have? 1 hit point.
Well,
I don't know. Let's see. It was what was it? It said 50 feet, right? So then you're taking 16 points of fall damage and 4 points of poison damage.
I'm resistant to poison, so it'd be 2 points.
2 points.
So that would be 18 total. So I have 11 points. I have 11 hit points.
Still up. The scene works. You're still up.
Whew, that smells terrible. Thank you.
So, I guess
What happens to our disorient folks?
They start to come to, freed from the influence of the funk.
Larpsalot's going to be like, we need to get back up there. Like we're not done yet.
Yeah,
What kind of horde is this?
you'll get back up and be able to have some conversation. No way. And the other Najin will just say, that they haven't been in control of themselves since the moment that they stepped into the funk. That the nature of it, the creature, maybe it's not exactly the creature, but just this entropy magic took hold of them and took control of them and was trying to work its magic through them. They, like, no way for their part will say that they understand how dangerous this all is now that they have been under its influence, and they're going to go back, basically back to their the other masked ones and try to convince them to abandon their aims of coming into this area. They not really sure if they really understand or believe in the prophecy, but they know well enough to stay away or abandon their pursuit of this forbidden knowledge or this forbidden power that is here in the midst of this area.
Oh, good, because it's not like you were going to get any land anyway.
But why is there an enormous toilet at the top of this tower?
Chaos,
Abandon all
man.
reason.
It's chaos.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's where all the treasure is.
You want to go
Inside?
take a look?
We should check it out.
Elvish
wow.
is not going near the toilet.
Just
What do you
because
think,
there's
guys?
deposits
Exactly.
doesn't mean
Hey.
it's treasure.
The dwarves, the disappearance of the funk will be a phenomenon that will take place over the next bit of time here, and the dwarves will just be all the more eager to expand their empire, but they're going to have to contend with these other forces. This might be a problem that is sort of put on the back burner and was going to have to be worked out or brokered. You dealt them a big blow with their whole assault on the Elvish camp. Didn't go quite so well, and they were somewhat embarrassed in that conquest. And the Untamed North will welcome you back in River Eagle, back to the capital city of Evergreen Bay, for a great feast. And working in tandem with the party, they will work out a proper reward. And there will be a big, strong box of coin waiting
Uh,
for tomfoolery,
oh,
as promised.
this is amazing.
They will begin to try to, reconvene peace talks with the other factions to get a peaceful resolution to what will happen with this territory. But for the time being, the immediate threat of the funk has been put to rest, thanks to you. You will eat and drink and party with the elves here tonight, and when you wake up, you'll be back home. Wherever home is.
Whoa.
Elvish will provide some music.
Yes. So this,
Yes, blue suede shoes will become the new fashion.
well, thank you
I don't have blue
everybody
suede
for
shoes.
playing
Just a cloak.
Curse of Ermagerd.
Oh, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And thanks, David, for writing the adventure and writing these characters and this setting. We had a lot of fun with it here. And I don't know exactly if we stayed faithful to what it was, but we had a lot of fun with it. And so if you want to check this out, you can. If you want to play it yourself, you can. All you got to do is follow this link I'm putting in the chat to Drive Through RPG. You could pick up your copy of The Curse of Ermagerd, and play out your own adventures with these characters. There's a lot of stuff that we glossed over. We were kind of moving kind of quickly, especially during this session, but a lot of little side quests and things like that. It's very well fleshed out, and you could have adventures for many sessions. So, yeah. So, any closing thoughts or remarks from anybody here?
I think that hearing the spells that other people were using and what I know that I was able to do, that I think it's really interesting that they're interlocking with, at least with the monsters that we've encountered, that they're kind of there for a reason. So you kind of should use the spells. Like, I'm a kind of person who likes to hold on to my spell slots, and I was like, no, I gotta just use them. So yeah, pretty cool.
You want to know the answer to your box?
Yes.
Yes.
We
But
do.
maybe the internet shouldn't know.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if they've gotten this far.
I was like 50% of the way to just like straight up buying it just so I could know the answer to that.
Oh, I better not say anything then.
Yeah, you gotta buy it.
You can DM me if you want to know the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, come chat with us on Discord. And
I was just about to guess home, but I guess that's not.
That one.
I thought that was
is
that was like the
not
random key to get
answer.
home.
Who's that guy? That's Cliff. Sorry.
Oh wow!
Hey.
Hey, it's my dad,
Whoa.
everybody.
Oh, Cliff,
Oh,
I didn't know you were in
I haven't
this.
seen him in
Cliff.
forever.
How you doing?
How'd you guys do in the adventure? I got here.
I don't know. I think Grimdark would want to know if Larpsalot thought that she couldn't survive without him.
What?
I don't know if you noticed, but Grimdark has like a thing against Larpsalot.
I know. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I know. But
Yeah.
Well, tons of fun, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. I think this was the last thing that we had going on this coming weekend, but definitely join the Discord. That's where you can not only stay up to date with what our schedule is, but that's where you'll be able to join different games that we run. We do run a community campaign that is something that you basically create a character and you can play in all sorts of different games that different DMs are running. And so your character is portable, you get to level them up and experience a lot of different types of adventures. And right now we're doing some Planescape oriented stuff, so you can go and adventure in the City of Doors, Sigil, and go and explore all sorts of different planes and campaign settings. So come and check that out. Just let us know you're interested in the Discord server. And I think with that we will throw a raid over to go and raid Total Party Chill and see what they're up to. Thanks everybody. See you soon. Have a good weekend.
Right.
And goodbye.
Let's see.